Hi guys, good morning. It's Saturday morning at A Little Farm Quilts. It's May 2nd. It's the second day of Mania, and this is my Stitch Mania update number 1. I did a video a couple days ago because I was getting super excited about Mania, and I had almost, I think, like a 10-day absence from YouTube for a lot of reasons. If you want to know those reasons, go to the last video because I'm not really wanting to rehash them now. But welcome to my channel. If you're returning, thanks so much. I love the comments, guys, so please keep them coming. It's quite encouraging, and during these times, I think the stitching community is awesome. I love the support. I love the comments. I love the suggestions. I love all of it. So thanks for doing that. For anybody new, welcome. Sometimes these videos are kind of crazy. Sometimes they're not. I think today is going to be a little short. We have very good weather today, so Matt and I are planning to do a lot of work outside. We're planning on getting our deck set up. We're planning on splitting some of our beehives. I think we've got to go do a grocery run, and I do believe we're going to either pick up dinner somewhere and eat it out on our deck, or go to one of the local lakes and eat it there, depending on how the wind is. You guys can probably hear my allergies are, or you probably see in my eyeballs actually. My allergies are very, very active right now. So if it is super windy outside, I do not like to be outside because it just makes it worse. But it looks pretty calm right now. It may be windier at the lakes, I don't know. So, but we're planning on being outside a lot today. We did a trial bonfire last night, and that was kind of nice, but it was a little chilly last night. It's going to be a little warmer tonight. And we're just going to try to spend some time outside doing some things, cleaning up the gardens, things that we like to do and that we haven't been able to do because Lord knows, upstate New York has been kind of wet and kind of dreary for what seems like a very long time. So anyway, that's that. So you guys know I started Maynia yesterday. I took the day off this year, May 1st, mainly because I didn't plan on taking May 1st off. What I decided I needed was kind of a mental health day to just kind of step back away from my job and dealing with quarantine, missing my grandbabies, missing my kids, missing some of the things that we usually do. And so I just needed a day off. It happened to coincide with May 1st, which is the start of Stitch Mania, which got me super excited. And that's why my video went up a couple days ago. It gave me a whole day to just stitch and do Stitch Mania and do things that I wanted to do. So that to me was awesome. I had a great day yesterday. I'm recording this today up in my living room because the basement is dark and dreary down there. And on a beautiful sunny morning like today, I don't want to be out there. I'm washing quilts and hanging them over the rails of our deck. I'm washing the curtains today and hanging them outside. I'm just all those nice spring things. But I was able to stitch a ton yesterday. It was cloudy most of the day yesterday with a few sun breaks and some rain. So there was a lot of time I was inside yesterday, and I stitched a lot. And for those of you that do not follow along, my first start was the Blue Flower Huckleberry Farm. I absolutely love this one, and I have been chomping. If you've been listening to my videos, I've been chomping at the bit to start this one, and I really, really, really wanted to start it. So that was start number 1 for Maynia. It calls for a 36 count shale linen by Picture This Plus. I don't always use the called for fabric, as you guys know. I generally stitch out of my stash and make it work, and I will even dye a piece to kind of be appropriate for what I'm working on. This time I wanted the fabric. I did find the shale colorway by Picture This Plus, but I found it in 16 count Aida, so that's what I'm stitching this on. The linen was nowhere to be found. So this is how far I got yesterday. My goal was to finish that house, but I got halfway. I want to say a little more than halfway. If you look at the house, it's about 1,200 stitches what I did yesterday. I didn't count them. I counted the 10 by 10 grids and kind of did the best I could, but it's about 1,200 stitches. And I think doing the whole house in one day for me was probably a stretch. But I have to tell you, I love stitching. I love stitching on this picture, this plus fabric. I had it in my scroll frame. And there are mistakes already, but I've worked it out, and I'm not gonna frog. You know me. I really don't like frogging, so I do what I can. But it's off the scroll rods now, and it's back in its bag. I may have to come back to this, and because it's 16 count, I actually may be able to stitch it in hand with my readers. But I don't know. The Pictures Plus fabric is also very soft to the touch. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes I have difficulty with the softer fabrics stitching them in hand. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. It's not hard for me to put it back on the scroll frame. I don't baste it to the leaders. I use pins similar to what I do with my long arm, and it works for me because I don't need this thing tight as a drum to stitch on it. And I actually loved stitching on my Case Creation frame yesterday. So it was just a very nice, calm day yesterday, and I was able to stitch a ton. So I was asking my husband last night what I should start for Maynia start number 2. Now, people, he does not care. He does not care. He supports me in everything I do, but does not care what I'm stitching on. Some things he likes, some things he'll say, eh. But in the end, he doesn't care. So, yeah. So I had asked him if he wanted to input on Maynia start number 2. He originally said no. Then we were sitting here watching, I think, Chuck. And about an hour later, he said, well, what do you got in your bin? And I started pulling things out, showing him some things. Well, this is the one he picked for today. It's called Humble Honey by Kathy Happerman at Hands On Design. And, you know, as you guys know, we are beekeepers. So this works out really well for us since we're going to be working with our bees today. We're going to be in our gardens. We're going to be setting up our decks. So this is appropriate. I did start this morning. This could potentially be a start and a finish today, depending on how fast I get the other stuff done and how much more stitching I get in today. But this is my start this morning, Humble Honey. I'm using the called for DMCs, and I'm doing it on 14 count chalkboard Ada because that's what I had in my stash. But I think even if I didn't stitch anymore today, that's a pretty decent start. It's only 9:18 in the morning. I think this could very well be a start and a finish today. We'll see. We will see. I'll keep you posted. Follow me on Instagram. I usually do what a start picture in the morning and where I ended up at night, if you want to follow that. Plus, every Stitch Maynia update video, which will probably be weekly, I will be going through everything that I've stitched on through the week. So today's a shorter video. I've only got these 2 that I've stitched on. Next Saturday, it'll either be a new start or a whip every day. Like I do not have them planned out. It's whatever I feel like stitching on. If I feel like pulling a whip and working on it, I will. I should show you. You guys know I'm stitching along with Fat Quarter Shop on the Bloomtopia Stitch Along. I'm also doing the quilt. I'm a little behind in the sewing on the quilt because I've had a couple other things come up. But I did stitch yesterday, release 7, which was this section right here of Bloomtopia. So I did all that house plus that part of stitching for the Bloomtopia. And I actually also put a few stitches in, just a few. Probably, I pulled something. I think it's a good thing I'm recording up here. Right, oh, I just knocked the camera. Sorry. Right next to my bin of stuff. I also put a few, maybe 20, 25 stitches into this one last night. This is, let me see if I can pull the picture. Country Cottage Needleworks. This is part of Snow Village. Popsicle Cart. I have another part of this, the next part downstairs, which will go in this hoop after I get this one done, and then I have another one coming. So I'm a little bit behind on those, but that's okay because we're not in the winter time. I have plenty of time to get those done. But I got a few stitches into that last night as well. And so those are the things every week I will show you where anything that I put stitches in, I will set aside, and that's what I will show you every week. And I will probably start recording up here in different locations upstairs because A, I think the lighting is better up here, and B, I just don't, I get to this time of year and I don't feel like being in the basement. Like, I still have a quilt on a long arm that I do need to get finished and off. I have a quilt order sitting here that I need to start. The fabric just came in yesterday, so I will probably start cutting that up tonight. I'm doing the mystery quilt along, the Unity quilt along that Bonnie Hunter's doing during this quarantine time. And I'm also doing the Bloomtopia quilt along that I'm 2 releases behind in that I'd like to catch up sometime this weekend. So in the evenings, I'll either be sewing or knitting, and then a little bit of stitching. So we'll see how this goes. But I do have some smalls intentionally in my Maynia, not a ton of them, but I do have a few. And I put them in there because they were potential start and finishes on the same day. Just because it's nice to get a finish. I do have quite a few big projects in my Maynia plans too, and some medium. But I do plan on touching more than one thing every day, even if it's just a few stitches, just to touch it. I am not writing everything down. I'm not planning everything out. That's not how I roll. So, and that doesn't do well for me. My work life is very planned out. My home life is kind of fly by the seat of my pants, and I just do best that way. So that's that. I did get a little bit of haul yesterday. I went through a period, I think in the beginning of this quarantine, where I was ordering a lot of stuff online. And as you know, it takes a while to get anything, so things are just starting to ship. And so every day I've been getting something. I showed you my last haul in my last video a couple days ago. So since then, I had ordered, this is a Beauty and the Beast sock yarn kit from Forbidden Fiber Co. And this is it. It came in. There's a group of us that are going to learn how to knit socks. And so I'm excited about that. I now have my knitting needles and my socks. You guys know I'm working on a scarf right now. I just think they're pretty and happy colors to be working on, and I just want to learn how to make socks. I don't know why. I've always wanted to learn how to make socks. I've tried it a few times unsuccessfully, and now I have somebody that's willing to teach me that knows how to and actually writes patterns for socks. So I'm super excited about that. The other thing I got, and I've had 2 patterns come in. These are the only 2 patterns I bought since I set up my Maynia. Kringles, which I showed you in my last video, and I'm not sure if that's going to become a start for this Maynia. And it may. I have time. And then And a Forest Grew by Rosewood Manor. I just love this, and I love this. I would love to be able to start it. And what I'm thinking about, it is 420 by 200, so it's a big girl. And it calls for a 32 count Belfast linen stitching. I believe it's stitching 1/2. Yep, 1 strand over 2 threads. I think I might toy with the idea, and maybe you guys can put your input above. I have some 28 count downstairs, and I really don't know if I want a piece quite this big. I mean, stitched as is, it's like 27 inches, I think, wide. I would like to stitch it 1/1 on 28 count, which would make it significantly smaller. I don't know. I might try it and see how it works up and then decide. But I love the book because it has other things in here too. It has scissor fobs, it has needle books, and I like them. Those I would stitch 1/2 just to make them bigger so I could make things out of them. And it has a mini chart in here, which I can't show you. It's a mini chart. Fruit tree sampler. He that plants trees loves others besides himself. And I like this because it's charted in all DMC, which you guys know I have a ton of right now. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. This may work into my start plans if I decide to try this on 28 count 1/1, just because I've never done a 1/1. And I think on 28 count, it wouldn't be totally unreasonable. So I'm thinking about that. Let me know what you guys think. This is a short video today. It will be longer next week because I'll have more to show you. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you guys are having fun with Maynia. However you've decided to do it, make it your own. Right now, I think I have, now I have 12 whips and 23 kitted projects, which adds up to 35. So if I add more starts, I'm already way over the 31, unless I just go to 31 new starts. My husband thinks I'm nuts about that, but that's what I did last year. I don't know if he doesn't remember that's what I did last year, but that's what I did last year. It just ended up I only had, I think, 8 of those left from last year for reasons I've already talked about. Some of them I finished, a lot of them I finished. I've had 11 finishes so far this year, and I think I had 6 finishes between May and December of last year. I've had 11 already this year. Some of them were left. Some of them were given away because I didn't like them and I wasn't going to stitch them. Some of them were dekitted because I didn't like how they were working out, so they have to be rekitted with different fabric and different things. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. He thinks I'm crazy. I like it. I'm excited. These are things I all want to stitch on. So if I go into this fall with 30 whips, I don't care, because it gives me a ton to work on for Christmas time, and they'll all hopefully be close to being done. Or the big pieces obviously won't be, but some of the others will. So that's my plan right now. We'll see if it changes through Maynia. You guys know I'm famous for changing my mind and changing things up, but I have to say last year, my first Maynia, I was super stressed going into it. This year I'm just super excited about the whole thing. Super excited. I think it's very apt that we have a Stitch Mania during a quarantine. I think it works. I think it gives people other things to focus on. I think it gives us something else to talk about, and I'm just super excited, and I'll let you know. If this is a finish today, I will post it on my Instagram regardless of whether it's a finish or not, and I will talk to you all soon. Have a great day. If it's nice where you live, get out and enjoy the weather. Everybody needs sun. Everybody. So play in your gardens, do something fun, take a walk, and get some stitching in. Okay? Bye, guys.